Well, you heard the guy, what he said. It's the What's on Your Mind show on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. If I sound out of place, if you think it's later in the day than it is, that's actually not. I'm Doug Saltzman, host of the Afternoon Drive show, but doing the What's on Your Mind show. So we have a bet going between TJ and I of how many times I'm going to accidentally say the wrong name of the show. I'll end up saying it's the Afternoon Drive show, but I'll be back after the 5 o'clock news today, but we're with you today till 3 o'clock. Of course, with news breaks in betwixt. So we appreciate TJ over there running the show, keeping us on the air. He'll be joining us, of course, from time to time. He can chime in whenever he wants. The What's on Your Mind show, sponsored by Tireman's Auto Garage, K2 Engineering, Coldwell Banker, Laurel Ridge Realty, Chestnut Ridge Counseling, Hicks & Baugh's Drugstore, Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling, and Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping. Hosts of the What's on Your Mind show here on your local station, WMBS. I want to welcome those joining us on Facebook Live. Good to be here in the afternoon. Haven't done this in a while. You're welcome to join in, open talk. We've got some topics I'll be talking about, and we'll also be checking in with Chris Fox, reporting for CBS News. 1:40, we're going to talk to him out of Texas. Got a horrific situation down there. It's just dreadful, the stories you hear. And over 160 people missing. You would hope some of those may have, been or with family and haven't reported back to authorities. But boy, the thought of rescuing people at this point seems nil, sadly enough. So we're going to talk to him at 1:40. If you want to join us and talk about any topic, 724-438. 4593 724-438-4593, and you can join us on the What's on Your Mind show. Maybe I could pick a charity, and each time if I say the wrong name of the show, I'll give $5 to a favorite charity. We'll figure that one out, TJ. That might work.
That's a good idea. I like it.
We could do it that way. Years ago, a buddy of mine was trying to stop smoking. Every time he smoked a cigarette, he put $1 into a pot. I even heard a worse thing where a guy said if he was trying to quit smoking, he came from a family of smokers who had lung cancer, and he committed to never smoking, and he had signed a legal document that if he ever smoked again, he was required, based on this legal document, to give $1,000 donation to the Nazi Party. And, of course, he wasn't going to give money to the Nazi Party.
Of course not.
And he literally had a friend of his who was an attorney, did it pro bono, signed up this, and he said, yeah, it was official. If he smoked, he had no choice.
Wow.
If somebody witnessed him smoking, it was an automatic donation. So he quit smoking. And, when you think about smoking, I'm sure there were times when DJs at this station were smoking here, sitting at the board.
Probably.
I think about, and just in my lifetime, I'll be 62 in 10 days. And
happy early birthday.
Well, thank you very much. I said that just to prompt that, by the way.
Yeah, because I probably won't see you on your birthday.
You're the first person to wish me happy
there
birthday.
We go.
Bill Madden's out in the hallway. He didn't wish me a happy birthday yet, the nerve of him. Oh, there we go. Bellowing in the background. Bill Madden, the second person to wish me a happy birthday. You don't often hear people publicize, hey, you're the second person to wish me a happy birthday. I was at, this is way off topic suddenly, but I was at church a couple weeks ago, and there was a young man, we know his family. He had made his first Holy Communion. And this was the second week. This was a week later, and I said, well, congratulations on your second Holy Communion. You don't often hear that celebrated in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, you're right.
In fact, it was more than a week ago, because I remember when I interviewed a few weeks ago both Pittsburgh bishops, the current and outgoing bishop, Bishop Zubik, the incoming bishop, Bishop Ekman, and I talked about, you don't hear a lot of celebration of Second Holy Communion.
You don't.
No, you don't. You don't hear that coming up too often. But somehow I got off on that. What was I talking about before that? I was going to tell a story, believe it or not.
The smoking?
Oh, the smoking. So, I went to a high school, and maybe folks in the Afternoon Drive show may have heard this one, but we'll tell it on the What's on Your Mind show. Smoking was allowed in my high school. There was a smoking area for students.
Wow.
There was a porch on the side of the school, kind of went into the gymnasium balcony area, and students could smoke there, no problem at all. In fact, teachers would come down and bum cigarettes off students. So I'm down there one day hanging out with the smokers at lunchtime. I didn't smoke. I only smoked cigars in my life, but I wanted to look cool to hang out with the smokers. So I'm chewing gum. which was a real no-no in high school. So the dean of discipline comes down to check on people, make sure we're dressed properly, because we went to a Catholic school. You had to have your tie up all the way. And he noticed I was chewing gum. The smokers were fine. I got detention for chewing gum. So the smokers were okay.
Gum chewing.
I had to stay after school.
Oh, my.
I had detention.
Gosh.
For in fact, I bumped into him years and years. Yeah, my gosh, it's maybe a year ago. I hadn't seen him in decades. This dean of discipline was also the health teacher, gym teacher. Kind of jack of all trades at the school, and we were joking about that. And we also joked in health class. He once showed us a movie, which I thought was fake because I remember seeing it mentioned on a TV show. He showed us what was then called a VD film called Hansel and Gretel, which I just thought was a myth, but apparently that film existed. Then we watched it in health class, and we were laughing at it. I don't know if you could show a movie like that or a film or a training film. I hope it's not training. It's a warning film, I guess. Back in the days, Mr. Kaprivnikar was his name. We had Mr. Kaprivnikar, Gym Health, Mr. Katrenzik Art. Kaprivnikar was about 6'6", and the other guy, Katrenzik, was about 5'6". So they were big K and little K. And also, when I was in high school, I had a teacher who smoked when he taught.
Oh, my gosh.
Mean, Lily was in school.
That's
Now, I
crazy.
graduated high school in 1981, but we had a teacher. Now, somebody did complain, so they worked out a compromise. He stood near the window.
Oh.
And if you look at me, holding his cigarette near the window, and then if he put it down, he would put it on the windowsill outside the window. That was the compromise. But he still smoked while he taught, which is, imagine nowadays, for heaven's sakes.
That's just, it would be unheard of if that happened now.
I remember being at a job, and one fellow, a buddy of ours, he had his first grandchild. He was giving out cigars. So there's 4 of us smoking cigars in an office. Imagine what that would have been like. When I have poker night at my apartment for the boys, I have to put a big fan in the window. I don't care if it's the middle of winter, just to blow the smoke out because we're all smoking cigars.
Yeah.
I live by myself, and but it takes about 3 weeks for that cigar smell to bite the dust. So yeah, it's a different era to say the least when it comes to stuff like that. My dad was a 2-pack a day smoker, and 1967. He went in to buy a pack of cigarettes, and the price had gone up. Now, I guess you get 20 cigarettes in a pack, and the price of cigarettes went up to 21 cents a pack. Now, what is it now? $8? I don't even know.
Who knows? Probably, yeah, it's something like that.
And my dad said, he said to himself, I am not spending more than a penny a cigarette. This is ridiculous. And he quit cold turkey.
Wow.
Just like that, after 2 packs a day.
Oh, my.
I remember we were at a campground once, and I was running out to the store, and there were people camping next to us. We didn't know them. I said, "Do you need anything?" She goes, "Yeah." Tell you what, will you get me a carton of cigarettes? I'm like, sure. She goes, my husband will be back. He has the money. I'm like, so I had never bought a carton of cigarettes, and I think at the time, what do you get? 10 packs? It was like $60-some. I'm like, heavens, is this what this costs?
That's crazy.
For a carton, I guess they were $6. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I guess they're cheaper when you buy them a carton. I had no clue how much
I don't either, yeah.
cigarettes cost. I try to get my cigars that are decent. They're not cheap, but you don't smoke a pack of cigars a day.
No.
But I do smoke cigars usually when I'm golfing. I used to do it when I would cut the grass. It was sort of because it kept the mosquitoes away, and it helped my allergies. But then, you start having kids and you tell them don't smoke.
Yeah.
And little kids, a cigar looks 10 times worse than a cigarette.
Oh, yeah, because it's big.
Yeah.
Bigger,
So the wife told me, you're done smoking. Sneeze out there. Don't smoke a cigar. But it's also good to smoke a cigar when you're fishing, and I do that. Keeps the mosquitoes away. How did we get off on that topic, for heaven's sakes? Want to give us a call, folks? You can talk about smoking and what a life was like when everybody smoked. I had a dentist who smoked. At one point, 724-438-4593. Yeah, I was surprised. You go off to college and you stop doing the appointments because your parents don't make the appointments for you anymore. And I remember the first time I came back to a dentist, they didn't wear gloves when I used to go to the dentist, if you can imagine that. But the new dentist wore gloves, did not smoke in the office. I remember a dentist working on me with a cigarette in his mouth. Oh, yeah, you got a cavity there. Think of that.
I couldn't even imagine that now.
Yeah,
Like that's
doctors smoked in the eye. I remember visiting my grandfather in the hospital. The doctor came in with a cigarette in his mouth.
like you said, doctors not wearing gloves. Now they have gloves, masks, like
my gosh,
the whole
shields
suits and shields.
And that was pre-pandemic. That had nothing to do with pandemic.
The whole suit and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a what's that called? A PDE, what are those terms they were using? Protective device or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like they're about to go into 3 Mile Island or something.
Like a hazmat suit. Or something.
Exactly, hazmat suit.
Hazmat suit.
Personal protection device. Is that what those were called? They've talked a lot about that during the pandemic. The pandemic at this point seems, it was a generation ago.
I know.
But, I met a woman a while back, speaking of pandemics, who... I guess I met her about 10 years ago. I'm sorry, about 5 years ago, right when this pandemic kicked in. And she was born right around the time of the Spanish flu, which made COVID look like a day at the beach, the people who died. And she doesn't remember it happening, but she remembers the aftermath, that she knew of nobody who didn't have somebody in their family die of the Spanish flu and the impact that had. In World War I, more soldiers died of the Spanish flu than in combat. And she just remembers she did not know a single family who did not lose somebody to the Spanish flu. And I guess it was okay to call it the Spanish flu, I guess, as opposed to the complaints when President Trump started calling it the Chinese virus or whatever. Yeah. China virus. But I think they still call it, or German measles or Spanish flu. I guess those terms didn't quite have the impact or the concern that things like that do nowadays. It's the What's on Your Mind show. I'm Doug Saltzman. That is TJ DeStefano over there. As we're on, as you can tell, on a whole variety of topics. Something came up the other day, and if you want to call in about this, I'm always curious. Now, people accuse me of being a dog hater. I'm not. I don't dislike dogs. I'm a little puzzled sometimes about dog owners. I was going into a coffee shop, doesn't matter which one. A fellow was sitting out front on a chair, TJ, and he had a dog on a leash, and it was sitting like right near the door. Okay. And I said, "Sir, could you pull your dog back? I'm going to go in the door here." He said, "Well, you could step over the dog." I'm like, "Well, yeah, I could, but maybe you could just pull the dog back." No, I don't have any problem. You're going to sit outside with your dog. That's fine. I don't quite understand if you're going to a store why people bring their dogs along. Or they have them like in a little pouch hanging on them, or like a little purse, and you see this little face sticking out. Now, I don't know anything about being a dog, but I think I'd rather be home laying on the couch than being carried around in a purse at a mall. Yeah. But yeah, the people anymore, I just don't. I don't understand that. They're carrying dog. Now, if it's a support dog or whatever, that's an entirely different thing.
The service dogs.
Service dogs, very different. Support dogs, sure. But I guess I don't know why suddenly we're carrying dogs around as if it's like an accessory. Like this is, I'm not going to wear my brooch today. There's an old term. I'm going to carry the dog. But I don't know. What do you think? Is that, I don't understand it, why people take dogs everywhere. I once was involved in an incident my gosh, this is 20 years ago. Somebody took a dog into a store. It was a home repair store. Won't mention which one. It doesn't matter. It was not in this state. And the dog jumped up and bit a little kid. And the man couldn't control it. It was a German Shepherd. And he was about to bite the kid again. And I kicked the dog and knocked it down pretty good. I gave it a pretty good kick. And the guy started yelling at me that I injured his dog. And I started yelling back, "Aren't you more concerned about this kid?" The guy said, "I'm calling the police." I said, "Go right ahead." And then a guy came up and showed his badge. He said, "You don't have to call the police. I'm the police. That's my son your dog bit. You're under arrest." And so his wife then called. If a police officer or a family member is in trouble, the whole crew is going to show up. Before you knew it, there had to be 6 cops there. Yeah. And the guy resisted arrest and then hit a cop. So it was, what's that, 3 felonies? He had a vicious dog that he couldn't control. The dog bit the kid. He resisted arrest and punched a cop. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to be in court on this one. I'm a witness to the whole thing.
Witness, yeah.
Yeah, so I gave the father, who was by fluke a police officer, I gave him my information, and I said, "I don't live in this state. Will I be coming back?" He said, "I saw it. My wife saw it. There's cameras everywhere. You know how stores are now.
Oh,
you can go down an aisle."
Yeah.
And he said, "I don't think we're going to need you, but just in case." But I never heard back. So I guess
And that's your story. That was crazy. They would move the dog. They asked you to step over.
yeah, step over the dog. Now that's not big, but it's
Still, though,
just
yeah.
taking dogs where I don't
Yeah.
understand why people have the need. And I'm not a dog hater. We've had dogs all the time. But you're carrying the dog around in a purse.
I've seen that before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You look over like, is that or somebody pushing a baby buggy and you realize it's a dog. Leave the dog at home. I don't know. Does that make me a crotchety, mean old man? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it does. Hey, we're going to get that CBS News update coming up here in about 20 seconds. We come back. We're going to check in with Chris Fox out of Texas, the latest on the horrific. You can't even describe it. I can't imagine a god-awful way to die than in a flood. But we're going to go to that CBS News update. First, we'll come back. Nick. I knew. Okay, I'll put $5 in. I called you by the wrong name. But let's go to CBS right now for the update.
CBS News Brief. The death toll has reached 119 in the Texas floods, and the search continues for anyone who may be alive. 160 remain missing. Kerr County Sheriff Larry Letha.
It's all hands on deck. Everybody we got are out here, but also we have an additional 2,000 plus people helping us.
3 people are dead, including 2 children, after flooding in Ruidoso, New Mexico. The river rose to record levels in just minutes. A town spokeswoman, Carrie Gladden.
We had one of our water gauges, which is we call the Hollywood gauge, and it saw a historical high of 20 feet.
Philadelphia has struck a deal with city workers to end a walkout that, among other things, halted residential curbside trash pickup. One union leader says not everyone's cheering.
I'm not happy or satisfied with the outcome.
The workers walked off the job July 1st. The CEO of X has stepped down. On Wall Street, stocks are higher. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
Pizza King's in Connellsville is your go-to lunch and dinner spot with a full menu of mouth-watering pizzas and so much more. Using a deck oven helps our pizzas stay extra crisp. So if you haven't tried a slice lately, what are you waiting for? From our 50-slice King Carnivore to veggie pizzas and even pickle pizzas, Pizza King has the pie to match your taste. Pizza King's, 1046 Morrell Avenue in Connellsville. Call 724-626-8343 or visit pizzakingswithaz.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Well, warmer days are ahead, the kind of days when you'll be enjoying your deck or patio again, especially with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturers and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Lifetime Awnings, 724-554-6067. Call for a no-cost or obligation home consultation or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Your mental health is your most valuable asset. With 55 years of experience serving Western Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services is ready and able to assist you with all of your mental health needs. Offering over 20 specialized treatments, open access, and just-in-time scheduling means that you receive the treatment you need in a time-conscious fashion. Chestnut Ridge Counseling now offers telehealth, mental health urgent care with immediate access to a mental health professional with no appointment necessary. Call 724-437-0729. That's 724-437-0729 for mental health urgent care at Chestnut Ridge Counseling. Outpatient care options include individual, group, and family therapies, mental health and psychiatric evaluations, and medication services. Outpatient care and services are also available for patients under the age of 18, geared towards youth-centric problems and concerns. Take control of your mental health care with Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services. Call 724-437-0729 to set up an appointment or speak immediately with a mental health professional.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Bortz Jr.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
WMBS.
That might be one of the great all-time rock and roll songs. Derek and the Dominoes, of course. Derek being Eric Clapton on the guitar there. He did that live one time, and did it live a lot of times, but it's recorded once, and somebody comes back and says, that's Eric Clapton on vocals. Forget the fact it's the greatest riff of guitar ever. But that's Eric Clapton when he was with Derek and the Dominoes. Of course, he went out on his own. He was with the Yardbirds, one of the great, I think he's the greatest guitarist of all time. Up there with Stevie Ray Vaughan and who else? Prince, although I didn't like his music, incredible guitar player. And, of course, Van Halen, great guitar player. All those the great ones. We were just talking in studio here about smoking, and I guess there was a fellow who worked here at one time. Not only smoked around the office and in the studio, but occasionally brought kids in dirty diapers and wet dogs. Now there's a combination. That's like a trifecta of bizarre odors.
That's right.
Yeah, wet dog, diapers, cigarettes.
Oh.
I don't know what's left. Raw sewage. I don't know, but that's a pretty good trifecta of bringing kids into. I was at a place once. I became a manager, and the one guy used to bring his daughter to work every day, and I'm like, you cannot bring your daughter to work. This was a car dealership.
Yeah.
I said, no, this is not a safe place for a little kid to be walking around.
Yeah.
I'm sure the insurance company would have been thrilled had something gone wrong. What you left a kid in the studio for heaven's sake, or in the studio in the car dealership. So it's sometimes as my grandfather would say, common sense is not very common. We have a caller on hold right now. If you want to join us, 724-438-4593. Who's joining us? Thanks for joining us on What's on Your Mind. Who's calling in?
This is Mark calling.
Hey, Mark. Where are you from?
I'm from Republic.
Mark from Republic. Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's on your mind?
Well, I have to disagree with you. Keith Richards has the greatest guitar riff in rock and roll history.
Oh, you think? Keith Richards? I can see that.
Yeah. I can't get no satisfaction. I guess he was messing with the car. He was dropping acid. He didn't know. He recorded until the next morning when he hit the little recorder and started playing.
Yeah, Keith, speaking of smoking, I don't think I've been to a lot of Rolling Stone concerts. I don't think I've ever seen him play without a cigarette in his mouth, or he sticks it up in the neck of the guitar, put it there. But no, you're right. That's a heck of a riff too. And I think, of course, this is a joke, but I think the drugs have somehow preserved Keith Richards over the years. It's amazing these guys are still rocking at 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and several years ago he was at some island, probably Bora Bora. Did you hear this? He tried to climb a coconut tree, and he fell out of the coconut tree and fractured his skull. Somehow survived. But can't you see him like sitting at the bottom with the coconuts landing on his head? It'd be like a cartoon. But but no, we'll go with that. I have no problem. It's good disagreement. I thought you were going to say that you think taking dogs to stores was okay when you said that.
No, I don't like that either.
That drives me nuts.
No.
I don't know.
I saw one the last time I went to Walmart in Brownsville. A woman had a little Cocker Spaniel. It must have been maybe 5 months old. It grew a little bit. But it would wag and jump and wag its tail, head in the cart to any person that came by.
Yeah.
It was so cute. You just want to pet it. If Jack the Ripper came walking by, he'd want to pet it.
Hey, I've never seen Jack the Ripper at a Walmart. I don't. So we'll go with that. We got a vote for Keith Richards.
Yeah.
Kiefer, as they call him.
And no dogs at Walmart.
Yeah, no dogs.
Service dog.
Unless it's a service dog. That's right.
I don't think it was a service dog.
No, it's they always have certain. They wear like a vest almost at times.
Yeah.
So hey, Mark from Republic, we appreciate your calling in. We'll be here until 3:00. You want to call back in the second hour? Feel free. We'll talk to you again. We'll talk more rock and roll.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Mark from Republic. But joining us right now on the WMBS Newsmakers line.
5 minutes, yeah.
Here on the What's on Your Mind show, joining us from Texas, reporter for CBS News, Chris Fox. Chris, thanks for joining us today. Unfortunately, the times we talk to you, it's some sort of tragedy. But this one, my gosh, this is unbelievable, these stories you hear, and the loss of children at a camp. It's almost too horrific to talk about at times.
Yesterday, talking to some people here in Kerrville, the term I heard twice, the fact that we now have numbers like 161 missing was an absolute gut punch. We had been kind of teased a little bit throughout the week with 25, 45, I think was the highest number. But then to have that tripled up to 161 yesterday was really tough to take.
And what's horrific too, naturally, about this sort of thing is so often in floods, the bodies are never recovered. They end up, under debris, and that's why, my gosh, they're using helicopters just to look for people. I guess initially they were doing it night vision, the pickup, but at this point, tragically, if a body's been dead for 3 days, it's not going to give off any heat at this point. Just to find these, and
the thermal drones are kind of made useless.
Right, and you would hope maybe some of them went back with family and have not reported back into the authorities saying.
And that was brought up today in today's 10 a.m. press conference with Kerrville authorities. That was Sergeant Jonathan Lamb of the Kerrville Police Department, I believe it was, who said to those family members who perhaps have reached out to us if the person is missing, if the person has been found, has arrived back home, please let us know. And so that the numbers are more accurate, because that's obviously one of the more difficult things here is coming up with some sort of head count, because you can with a summer camp because you already know how many kids. You can in a hotel because people are registered. It's much more difficult when you're talking about 60, 70 miles of campground, basically, along the river.
I mean, I've gone camping a lot. They don't ask you how many people are coming. At least they usually don't. So you could have a family of 6. You could have a family of 2. So the authorities would not know the exact amount. As you said, be one thing, a horrific plane crash or something like that. You know exact numbers of who is involved and who they're searching for. Plus, if you have a tragedy like a hotel fire or a plane crash, it's a condensed location, unless it's over a plane crash over water. But these floodwaters bodies tragically could be taken miles and miles away from where they initially were, and to try to recover them. We have flooding here in southwestern Pennsylvania over the years, but nothing like this. I saw a time-lapse video of officials monitoring a river and just showing them how quickly they had to move up this road. It was, of course, in a valley.
That was Llano. That was Llano River.
Oh, man, that was incredible to see that. And yes, it was time-lapse, but it wasn't time-lapsed over 6 hours.
It's amazing. So yesterday I was down at the bluff in Kerrville, overlooking the Guadalupe, and this older couple came and almost as if they were paying respects. And I spoke with them when they were kind of done, and they mentioned to me that this was a situation where they had been out of town all weekend, and they were in Alaska, and that this is their first time getting back after seeing all the reports. And one of the things that the husband pointed out to me was the crescent tree, the cypress tree, which are very strong, big, huge, 100-year-old tree. And he said, if you could see, most of them are snapped in half, by the way. And the one that was still standing, he said, you can see at the top where the water level hit and knocked bark off the top of that tree. And it's 35 feet up.
Right.
And you can't even comprehend of what that must have looked like. And but you can see that it did. And it's just absolutely, when I got here Sunday, the water level had picked up again because of afternoon rains, and the water it had a power to it that never came across on TV. That left you somewhat scared, somewhat humbled. There was a power behind it that it was just like nothing I'd heard before. And I grew up in St. Louis along the Mississippi River.
Yeah. I mean, they talk about 10-year floodplains, 20-year floodplains. They don't have just estimates now. This could be a 1,000-year flood, and it gave you some idea of how outrageous this was and how quickly it came up. And of course, it's the idea of the ground absorbing that much water. It's just an impossibility when you're talking about the amount of rain. There's questions about forecasting and warnings. And a fella I know well, and he's a meteorologist, he said, yeah, they call it the meteorological sciences, but it's also a lot of witchcraft at times. He said, we're not. This is not black and white trying to predict storms coming through. And he
also the topography here adds to the problem because we are in hill country, so it focuses the water in a direction. We're also in an area of central Texas that has been under beyond extreme drought conditions over the last 5 years. And so the ground is hard as a rock. So you take the topography plus the ground hardness, and you put that much water in it, and it just speeds it up dramatically. The nickname of the area, I'm sure you've heard, is Flash Flood Alley. And I asked people to explain this to me, and they said most of the time it's 3, 4, 5 inches of rain.
Right.
And we'll come down and watch it, over the bluff, and it's no big deal. It may come up to the side of the road on the other side. But this being 10, 15, 12, 15 inches of rain, obviously is a completely different story. Also, now what we're looking at is down in Center Point, Texas, about 12 miles down river. There's a lot more debris than up here, and that's where they're finding a lot of the bodies. But it's amazing how this is it's compacted. You can fill stadiums with the amount of debris that we're talking about, and it's just, imagine the power of it. There were cars dragged 20 miles at least over 5 different dams,
right?
Spillway dams. I mean, it's just, this is amazing.
At 6 inches of water will move at the average size car, 6 inches. And that's why they forever say, do not drive into a road covered with water. You don't know if that road dips down 4 feet. It's not like the water's going to dip down 4 feet. I know more people die in cars drowning than anything else.
Yeah, and that's where they're hoping to find more of the bodies in RVs and cars.
Yeah, it's a horrible search. They're still calling it a rescue, but at this point, the idea of finding someone alive.
We're in day 6.
It would be tragic.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're in day 6. No one wants to say it.
No,
and I get why. So people just say we're in day 6.
Right, and to keep that going. I'm sure you've been very busy through all this, traveling quite a bit, covering news conferences by the governor and others, reporting for CBS News. Chris Fox with KRLD News Radio. You're the Austin bureau chief, if my information is so correct. And we've talked to you about other things in Texas. Sooner or later, we're going to have a good conversation with you instead of these.
Yeah, we get to talk football, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll do that. Absolutely. Chris Fox, I know you're about to be on the road heading back to where your next stop is. So we appreciate your taking time to join us today, Chris. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Boy, I tell you, that is I just can't imagine a more horrific way to die, especially if you were with family, your children, in a flood. Southwestern Pennsylvania, of course, the legendary St. Patrick's Day flood of 1936. And it's after that, as a result of downtown Pittsburgh literally being flooded 10, 12 feet deep in areas and spaces. And there still are marks on buildings where they said how high the floodwater was. Mm-hmm. And of course, then they built the dams projects, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And of course, the Yawk River Lake is an example of how they maintain the flow of water through the 4, we always talk about 3 rivers, the 4 rivers, including the Yawk. So they managed to do that. But when you talk about Texas, when they've been under not just a seasonal drought, but a severe drought they have in Texas, the ground it's just trying to get concrete to absorb water, TJ. Yeah. I just don't know how...
it's an awful situation down there.
And it
really is.
When you think about just yesterday, 30 people missing, now 160. Children at a camp. Obviously, they're going to be discussing this and the warnings that were given and things like that. Mm-hmm. But, if you're used to seeing a river rise, but if we're talking 1,000-year flood, you talked about Mississippi River. No, that was Chris who mentioned living near the Mississippi River. They had a 1,000-year flood years ago. And I remember flying over it on my way to California for work. And the pilot said, take a look out there where the one river met the other river. He said, that's 2 miles up from where they usually meet. That's how horrendous that flooding was. That was a 1,000-year flood. My gosh, that would have been in the 90s along the Mississippi River. I'm Doug Saltzman. That is TJ DeStefano. Now, I haven't said the wrong name for the show yet, but I did call TJ Nick at one point. So we'll throw $5 into the pot there, and I'll give it to some charity. Those who struggle with memory. Maybe there must be some charity that handles that.
Memory.
We're gonna take a break here. We come back. We'll wrap up the first hour. We're with you until 3 p.m. today, and we'll tease the second half of a show coming up. But first, this is the What's on Your Mind show on WMBS.
Bright Stripe, Fayette County's premier asphalt seal coating professionals, locally owned by Matt and Lexi George. Bright Stripe specializes in residential and commercial asphalt seal coating, also excelling in line striping and layouts, thermoplastic, and infrared asphalt repair. Bright Stripe has succeeded due to their commitment to quality work for 30 years. Bright Stripe, 724-437-6090, or visit bright-stripe.com. BRITE-stripe.com.
Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling are the ones to call when you need a dumpster. Red Rooster offers fast, friendly service and provides medium-sized dumpsters that will fit your needs, whether it's a general remodeling project, emptying a house, or doing a summer or fall cleanout. Just call Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling at 724-569-0337 for rates and availability. Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling in Smithfield also offers a 5% military discount. Call 724-569-0337 and look for the Red Rooster.
At Economy Furnace Heating and Air, we're more than just an HVAC company. We're part of your neighborhood. Thanks to you, our friends, families, and loyal customers, we were voted Best in Fayette in both 2023 and 2024. Your trust means the world to us, and we'd be honored to have your vote again. You can vote once a day on every device at bestinfayette.com now through Wednesday, July 9th at 5 p.m. We proudly install Amana systems, built to last and designed for energy efficiency. Need AC help during a heat wave? We've got you covered with fast response times, friendly technicians, and top-notch service you can count on. For over 60 years, our family-owned business has put community first because you're not just customers, you're neighbors. Call us at 724-438-4575 to schedule your appointment today. And from our family to yours, thank you.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Then I saw her face.
Everyone's favorite ogre is coming to Uniontown. Main Street Theater Company presents Shrek the Musical, live on stage at the State Theater. Based on the Oscar-winning film of A Little Ogre, a wisecracking donkey, a feisty princess, and other fairy tale misfits, Shrek proves that beauty is truly in the eye of the ogre. Shrek the Musical, July 11th and 12th at 7 p.m., July 13th at 2, is fun for the whole family. For tickets, call 724-439-1360 or online at statetheater.info.
Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock wants to wish everyone a great weekend at the New Salem Hog Roast and thank them for all the hard work it takes to make the event possible. Enjoy the pork sandwiches and entertainment while supporting the New Salem Volunteer Fire Department. This message is brought to you and paid for by Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock, who once again wishes everyone the best of luck at the New Salem Hog Roast and thank everyone for their participation. Magisterial District Judge Daniel Shimshock.
This is attorney Michael Mays of the Davis & Davis Law Firm. We have been helping injured people just like you recover millions of dollars for over 45 years. If you're hurt or injured, I want to meet you and make sure you get the money that you deserve. Call me at 724-437-2799 for your free consultation. The Davis & Davis Law Firm has been protecting our neighbors in Greene and Fayette counties for over 45 years. Go to davisanddavislaw.com or call 724-437-2799 for your free consultation.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you.
Speaking of the Rolling Stones and Kiefer, bring us out of the break. It's the What's on Your Mind show. I'm Doug Saltzman. That is TJ DeStefano. News is coming up in about 5 minutes, but we have a caller on hold right now. Welcome to What's on Your Mind. Who's calling in?
Hi, it's Mark from Cardinalsville. I forget where I'm from anymore.
Oh, that's okay. Who knows where you're from? We'll put up with that, Mark.
I've been to a lot of concerts.
Okay.
Been to a lot of places. My three favorite guitarists: Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac. Nobody can duplicate that.
That's good. Good choice.
Picking in high speed, sounding great, like a banjo style. Now, you got Roy Buchanan, who shortly was, and I've seen him and heard him play, and he goes and takes it to the next generation and would blow Van Halen away. Van Halen's music hurts my ears, playing living. And you got Stevie Ray Vaughan, who passed away, and you got Stevie Ray Vaughan sound-alikes, and that Seacrest guy used to play down there in Perryopolis used to do that before he passed away. And you got a lot of great guitarists out there, but I like that blues-style guitar. And of course,
Stevie
Ray, I was going to mention one other thing.
Yeah.
You got all these plastic 2-liter bottles that say they're worth 16 cents in Vermont or Michigan. I'm going to start picking them all up and getting a truck. And I'm going to go up to Vermont and Michigan and cash in on all this money.
There's a famous Seinfeld episode where where Kramer and Newman decide they're going to take all these bottles from New York City to Michigan because you can get more money there because they figured it out. They could make some money that way. You have to figure in the gas mileage and all that. Interesting, but back to your comment. Roy Buchanan, I remember seeing him at Graffiti's out in Oakland, a small venue out there. And tragically, 2 weeks later, he hung himself in a jail cell. Buchanan, if you know Billy Price, the local singer, Billy Price sang with with Roy Buchanan at one point. Just terrific.
And I did hear Santana play. Excuse me.
It's okay. Hit the cough button there.
That sip of coffee got me. Anyway, keep up the good work.
Well, thank you.
You know, these generations of kids these days wouldn't even know the word named Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to the afternoon drive show that I host, and I'll be on today 5 to 7, I start every hour and end every hour with the Stevie Ray Vaughan song. So,
try a Buchanan song and try playing. Well, you're good. You do what you have to. But Stevie Ray Vaughan. I actually didn't know he was that great till years after he had passed. And I always heard his songs and didn't know what he looked like.
Yeah.
I finally caught up to what happened, and then it's very tragic he died too soon.
Right, sure did.
Had he gone on, I don't know. But Roy Buchanan, what a creature.
Yeah, he really was. Mark from Cardinalsville. We think you're from Cardinalsville. That's close enough. But Mark, we appreciate your calling in. All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We have another caller on the line. We've got about a minute left, but we'll squeeze it in. Oh, they jumped off?
Yep. So
okay. Well, whoever had called in a moment ago, call back in after the 2 o'clock news. We'll get you on the air. We do have a guest at 2:35. We're going to talk to Dick Jewell, longtime political analyst, former president of Grove City College. He was on the gaming control board at one point as well. 74 degrees right now outside our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. I'm Doug Saltzman. That is TJ DeStefano. If you hear me say it slowly, that means I want to make sure I don't say Nick Barczyk over there. It's the What's on Your Mind show. I have not yet said the wrong name of the show.
You're going to jinx it if you keep.
I know. I keep bringing it up. Sooner or later, I'm going to. I'll mention the wrong station for heaven's sake, which I did one time because I was on another station earlier in the day, and I said the wrong call letters. And that doesn't go over too well with the people upstairs in the corner office. That's right. You have to be careful about those things. But we appreciate your joining us. Appreciate the calls. The calls always mean so much. And we did have somebody on hold, but they jumped off. Call back after the 2 o'clock news. I know somebody else is going to be calling in as well. But check back with us right after that 2 o'clock news, which, by the way, is less than a minute away here. As I mentioned a moment ago, 74 degrees. How about that? That's we're about 20 degrees cooler than it was just a few days ago. What a summer we had so far. These incredible temperatures.
We had no spring.
Oh, no spring.
No spring.
100% chance of rain, it's saying at 2 o'clock here, 90% at 3 o'clock. So it's a good time to stay inside. The high tomorrow 82. The high today's forecast for 80. He's going to have to hurry if it's going to get there. 82 tomorrow. 83 on Friday with a chance of rain both days. But, of course, TJ will give you that full forecast. First off, CBS News Live from New York, and then local, regional, statewide news, sports, and weather with TJ DeStefano. It's What's on Your Mind on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. I'm Doug. That's TJ. Stick around for the news. We'll talk to you later.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The death toll in Texas from the floods has reached 119, but many are still missing. Chris Fox reports they're trying to keep hope alive.
Kerrville Mayor Joe Herring called this a story of tragedy and of heroes.
The recent numbers reported break my heart, and they break the heart of everyone up here, everyone who's been working since July the 4th.
In Kirk County alone, they've recovered the bodies of 59 adults and 36 children, 5 girls and 1 counselor from Camp Mystic among the missing. Kerrville Police Sergeant Jonathan Lamb spoke of the heroics of his fellow officers that fateful morning.
They rescued people out of vehicles, out of homes that were already flooding, pulling them out of windows.
Chris Fox for CBS News, Kerrville, Texas.
The Senate Commerce Committee is holding a confirmation hearing for a NOAA administrator with a lot of focus on Texas and whether Trump administration cuts played a part in the disaster's aftermath. Senator Maria Cantwell.
Since the start of the year, NOAA's workforce has been gutted by 2,000 employees. The agency currently has over 3,000 vacant positions, most of which cannot be filled due to the hiring freeze.
Neil Jacobs is the nominee to head the agency.
If confirmed, one of my top priorities is to return the United States to the world's leader in global weather forecast modeling capability. As a matter of public safety, national security, and national pride.
Ukrainian officials say Russia fired more than 700 attack and decoy drones at Ukraine overnight. That tops previous nightly barrages for the third time in 2 weeks. CBS's Ramy Inocencio.
This time last week, we were talking about a record number of drones, around 500. Now we're talking something on the order of more than 700. This most recent attack is widespread across the country. Nearly half of all of Ukraine's 24 regions or oblasts are reporting some kind of damage.
Moscow has been intensifying its attacks. President Trump is growing increasingly frustrated with the Russian president. Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker is hailing a tentative deal that will end a strike by nearly 10,000 public workers.
It is over. It is true that we have reached a tentative agreement with District Council 33 on a new 3-year contract.
The strike began on July 1st and had disrupted trash pickup, closed libraries, and reduced the hours of recreation centers. President Trump today sent out tariff letters for 6 more countries. He says he'll announce more import taxes later today. Chipmaker NVIDIA has become the world's most valuable company at $4 trillion. On Wall Street, stocks are higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Nagy service stations, Nagy Gas and Oil, Nagy Propane, and Beer Necessity, located on the mountain by Fort Necessity, extends their best wishes to the New Salem volunteer firemen for a successful hog roast this weekend. A locally owned family company, Nagy Gas and Oil, has been serving the area since 1942, and they invite you to check out any of their locations throughout the county. For more information, call Nagy Gas and Oil at 724-437-7241. That's 724-437-7241.
Saving money when you buy a new home isn't a fantasy. It's reality at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. With up to $5,000 in instant savings during the Sign and Save sales event, it's the perfect place to find the home you've always wanted. So don't let your dream home stay a fantasy. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon today at 4500 PA 51. Terms and conditions for the Sign and Save sales event at manufacturedhomeoffers.com. Available only at participating Clayton Homes family of brands retailers through August 31st. Amount of savings may be limited. Ask for details. May not be available with certain financing. Lender restrictions apply.
The Barbie verse is expanding. Deborah Rodriguez reports.
Hey, Barbie, hey! Mattel has unveiled a new Barbie with type 1 diabetes, representing the estimated 304,000 kids and teenagers in the U.S. with the same condition. She wears a pink insulin pump and a continuous glucose monitor to help control her blood sugar. It's linked to a phone in her purse, which displays a monitoring app. Barbie slays in the style department in a blue polka dot crop top, matching ruffled miniskirt and chunky baby blue heels. She retails for $11. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Elon Musk's artificial intelligence company is taking down anti-Semitic comments and other posts made by its Grok chatbot, including some praising Adolf Hitler. Grok was created and pitched by Musk's company as an alternative to what he called woke AI. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
Now the local, district, and statewide news. Being brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant Dieter. Keeping you warm and cozy in winter and cool and comfortable in summer with a quality Bryant gas furnace or air conditioning system. And now the news.
Good afternoon, 2:05, some light rain and 74 outside the Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. Injured, call today for your free consultation, 724-437-2799. Your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS. I'm TJ DeStefano, sports and weather in just a bit. A Franklin Township man is accused of selling methamphetamine during a Greene County sting operation last November. The Observer reporter says that Edward Schrader had charges filed against him Thursday by the Greene County Drug Task Force. Schrader is charged with 2 felony counts of manufacture, delivery or possession with intent to deliver, and a misdemeanor offense of intentional possession of a controlled substance. His bond was set at $25,000, and he was in the Greene County jail after being unable to post bail. Officials at Arnold Palmer Regional Airport near Latrobe Tuesday marked the first milestone in construction of a $28 million terminal expansion, with about a third of the project's initial phase in place. Completion of the first 3 phases is slated for April of next year. The first phase will see completion of the shell of the 2-story, 32,000 square foot addition and relocation of a security checkpoint. A Republican congressman is ruling out a run for Pennsylvania governor. Representative Dan Muser said that he has decided against entering next year's race and will instead remain focused on his work in the House. Muser was the preferred Republican candidate of President Donald Trump, who said in a recent rally that Muser would have his full support if he ran for governor. No Republicans have officially entered the race against incumbent Josh Shapiro. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says automation and people on Medicaid will help fill the gap in farm labor caused by President Trump's immigration crackdown. Michael Kastner reports.
Speaking to reporters Tuesday, Rollins said automation will play a big role. And
with 34 million people, able-bodied adults on Medicaid, we should be able to do that fairly quickly.
President Trump's spending bill that he signed into law on July 4th created the first mandated work requirements for Medicaid. That's a health care program for pregnant women, young children, the disabled, and working poor. I'm Michael Kastner.
WMBS time, 2:08. Sports and weather are next.
439-2323. For 24-hour emergency service, call us when you need. We're Fayette's Heating and Air Conditioning, your service company.
When it's sweltering outside, you'll be cool inside with central air conditioning from Bryant, the people that know cool. And it's easy to have a central air conditioning system installed in your home. Simply call on your Bryant dealer, Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, located near the Laurel Mall on Route 119, north of Uniontown. The phone number is 439-2323. Let Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning rescue you from the sticky, humid summer weather. Remember that number for Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer, 439-2323.
Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323.
In sports, Pirates look to snap a 5-game losing streak tonight as they wrap up their series in Kansas City against the Royals. Bailey Falter will be on the mound for the Bucks, who are 38-55. As I mentioned, have lost 5 in a row. We'll have the game on WMBS. The pregame is 7:15, and the first pitch is at 7:40.
The local, district, and statewide news has been brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer. Route 119 north of Uniontown, located near Laurel Mall. Phone 439-2323.
This Weather Watch is brought to you by Point Hill Living Care Home of Point Marion. When you want a care home where residents are family, consider Point Hill Living Care Home with fully customizable care plans tailored to your loved one's needs.
Well, if some periods of rain the rest of the afternoon, 78 will be the high. Cloudy, could see a shower or storm tonight, 67. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with a stray shower or storm, 84, and partly cloudy, an isolated shower or storm on Friday with a high of 85. Right now we have some light rain at 74 outside of our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios at 2:10 on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm TJ DeStefano. Up next, it's hour 2 of What's on Your Mind with Doug Saltzman on WMBS.
This Weather Watch was brought to you by Point Hill Living Care Home of Point Marion. Visit them today at pointhillliving.com or find them on Facebook and see if their tailored care options are right for you and your loved one.
If you've driven by Tireman's Auto Garage, you've probably seen all the 2-, 4-, and 6-seater golf carts. Well, they're available for sale, and ACIMA financing is available. Interested in renting a golf cart? See Joe and Kim at Tireman's Auto Garage about daily, weekly, or monthly rentals. Tireman's Auto Garage voted best in Fayette with the best prices in town for tires. Used tires just $25 mounted and balanced, and golf carts too. Mill Street, phone 724-425-9606.
If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200.
It's back for a 3rd year, the 2025 version of Best in Fayette presented by Nemacolin. Voting is going on now through July 9th at 5 p.m. To learn more and to vote for your favorite business, visit bestinfayette.com. The 2024 Best in Fayette books are still available and can be picked up for free at locations such as WMBS Radio, Shop and Save Walnut Hill, Armstrong in Connellsville, Bittersweet Cafe in Farmington, and the Casino at Nemacolin. For more information, visit bestinfayette.com.
Are you considering a project design and don't know where to start? K2 Engineering offers a wide range of professional civil, architectural, and municipal services to meet your individual project needs. Our versatility combined with our personalized approach is what sets us apart as a full-service engineering and consultation firm. To learn more about our services, please visit us on the web at www.k2engineering.net. K2 Engineering, where customer service is our priority.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Has your living room lost its life? Chesler's Fine Furniture wants to breathe some excitement back into those tired old furnishings. Right now, Chesler's has their best sellers in upholstery on sale. This is a limited time event, so hurry in now and choose from King Hickory, Best Upholstery, Lancer, Craftmaster, and Lazy Boy. Select from casual contemporary, traditional, or motion living room suits and relax in comfort. Stationary sofas start at just $4.99 and reclining sofas at $7.99. Chaise sofas at $6.29 and sectionals at $11.39. Choose from fabrics or leathers, all in stock for immediate delivery or free layaway for up to 90 days. Credit terms and delivery are available at Chesler's Fine Furniture, Route 51 in Uniontown, where customers send their friends.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borch Jr.
Your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Welcome back to hour 2 of the What's on Your Mind show. I'm Doug Saltzman. That is TJ DeStefano over there at the controls. We have a guest coming up at 1:20, but if you want to call in right now.
2:20?
2:20. Well, it's the Central Time I was giving, the Central Time Zone. Again, it's another $5 I have to give to charity because I screwed up. Yeah. I was saying earlier, if you weren't with us in the first hour, of course, this is Doug Saltzman. I do the afternoon drive show. I haven't called this show by the wrong name yet, but $5 for each time I do. Earlier, I called TJ Nick, and I just gave the wrong time. But no, our next guest is not traveling in time. She will be, in fact, at 2:20. But if you want to call in before then, 724-438-4593. What's in your mind? Sponsored by Tireman's Auto Garage, K2 Engineering, Coldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty, Chestnut Ridge Counseling, Hicksonbaugh's Drugstore, Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling, and Bright Stripe Seal Coating and Line Striping. Hosts of the What's on Your Mind show. And we have a caller calling in right now. Welcome to What's on Your Mind. Who's calling in?
Leanne, and I'm hurrying my call in before your guest.
Well, that's okay. Take your time.
Yeah, Doug, before I address my stuff to you, I'm going to yell at Thomas Jefferson DeStefano, because I have heard that he has been picking on Miss Green there in the office, and the listeners will not put up with that.
Who have you been picking on, TJ?
Who was it?
Who? You said it was Thomas Jefferson DeStefano. TJ.
Yes.
And who has TJ been bothering, you said?
He apparently is picking on Miss Doreen there in the office, and we can't have that.
Picking on Doreen? Oh. Heavens no!
I never do that.
We adore Doreen. We would, first off, we're scared of her, but we would no. I'm going to back up TJ on this one. No, we would never bother Doreen. My heavens!
No. I'm telling him he has 10 pounds of stale corn candy on the way.
Okay.
If he continues. But anyway, Doug,
we would never do that. But back to the other topic at hand. Go right ahead.
Yes. I just wanted to thank you very much for on your afternoon drive show. You always have the best people. I don't know how you have all these connections, but you have the best people. So informative. I've learned so much.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. Yeah, it doesn't come easy. It takes a lot of work. Getting one guest on sometimes can be, 2 weeks worth of work to get them on. And, I'm 62 years old. I've been doing stuff for a long time, and you get a lot of connections around. And that's very nice of you to say.
Yeah, I just wanted you to know that that's very much appreciated by the listeners. And as I said, sometimes people will give me a hard time because I listen to little WMBS, and I said, but I learn an awful lot.
Well,
so thank you.
This station was one of those classics, family owned all these years. We're not. There's so many stations now are corporate owned, and my gosh, you can't sneeze without getting permission from the corporate officers, somewhere in another state. But no, this is still a family owned station that's run locally. We do things that you would never get on a bigger station. Well, it's very nice of you to say those things. Yeah, it's getting these guests can be tough, and I'm scrambling to get guests sometimes, literally while we're on the air, and because folks cancel, they run out of cell juice, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Where you and Josh always, keep it going. Is it Josh or Nick?
Nick.
Keep it going. So yeah, there you go. But I've been listening to WMBS since birth. It was always on in our family. Jim Morgan chased us to school in the morning. If Jim Morgan said it was time to go to school, we went. Etc. So thanks again.
No, it's very nice of you to call in and say that. We will monitor this behavior by TJ, though, and Doreen. We're not sure what that's about, but, we treat Doreen like the queen she is, for heaven's sakes, yeah. She is a saint. We have another caller on hold right now. Thanks for calling in, by the way. Welcome to What's on Your Mind. Who's calling in?
Anyone there?
Oh, we had her. Did we lose you? Yep, well, we lost somebody. Call back in. We'll get you on the air. We do have a guest coming up. TJ's going to try again to see if our guest, Anna Schechter, who is with CBS News. You've heard these horrific stories. And by the way, she's crime and public safety unit leader for CBS. We're going to talk about the increased violence against ICE agents. And we're going to check in with Anna just as soon as we're able to get her on the line. And then after the news and break at the bottom of the hour, we're going to check in with Dick Jewell. Dick is long involved in politics. He has been president of Grove City College, a business leader in southwestern Pennsylvania, was also on the gaming control board at one point. So we're going to get his take on the latest going on. But you're welcome to call in if you want, 724-438-4593. I'm Doug Saltzman. That's TJ. We are with you till 3 o'clock. Then I'll be back for the afternoon drive show after the 5 o'clock news leading up until 7 this evening. So make sure you check back with us. And, of course, we have Pirate Baseball tonight from Kansas City.
We have your guest, Doug.
Oh, joining us right now on the WMBS Newsmakers line from CBS News, crime and public safety unit leader Anna Schechter. Anna, just teased your interview a moment ago. We wanted to check in with you about the increased violence against ICE agents. First time you've been on our show, first time I've interviewed you. Thank you very much for joining us, Anna. What is the latest and what's prompting this violence against the ICE agents?
Well, thanks so much for having me. It is a troubling trend, and you've seen so much coverage of, for example, the National Guard in California, ICE raids. There's been a lot of consternation about that. And then what you see is a response where you have members of the public or protesters not just demonstrating their views, but actually carrying out violent actions, and some really appalling recent cases, particularly late Friday night on July 4th, with a group of 10 individuals who had fireworks on them. Some of them coated their faces in mud. Others were wearing tactical gear. This was an extremely violent, highly coordinated attack, according to authorities, who've charged these 10 people and actually an 11th person for conspiring to cover up the evidence of the sort of coordinated attack. So it is really troubling, and it also follows a trend that I've been looking at with an increase in ambush attacks against local police officers. In 2024, we had, in 2023, very high numbers, and those numbers were spiked after the height of the COVID pandemic, and they really remain high. And in fact, the FBI is so concerned about it that they're taking a look at it in order to better train local law enforcement to look out for these kind of ambush attacks where someone places a fake 911 call to lure police officers to a home or a location and then open fire on them.
Yeah, we just had an incident here on over 4th of July weekend. Of course, our station's in the Pittsburgh metro area, where people were shooting fireworks at Pittsburgh police officers. The officers showed incredible restraint. But that happened in a part of the city of Pittsburgh called the South Side, which has a lot of bars, et cetera, a lot of nightlife. And
well, that's exactly what we're seeing. And you look over the last 5 years, even going back further, but particularly over the last 5 years, and there's been a real there was a real reckoning, and I think a lot of issues that probably should have been addressed were looked at and examined in terms of over-policing and that sort of thing. But then when I interview police officers, people in leadership positions in law enforcement, it's really concerning that looking at those issues has actually spilled over into violence carried out against people who are actually responding to calls for help. They're just doing their job. And police departments are having a hard time recruiting because people know that if they step into uniform, they could be putting themselves at risk. Now, these recent ICE cases is very interesting to me. We're still waiting to get a full data so we can look at the full picture going back over the last 20 years. I like to sort of look at a bigger time frame, but certainly these recent cases show highly coordinated attacks on ICE agents who they themselves are following orders. Now, you could raise questions about due process and, whether the administration should or shouldn't be carrying out deportations in the way that they are, and that's a legitimate conversation to have. But it's certainly alarming that these violence acts are being carried out against agents who are following their boss's orders.
Yeah, Anna, you mentioned a topic that's happened here in southwestern Pennsylvania. I mentioned a moment ago the city of Pittsburgh. They're now asking for state police and county police to assist them in the city. They're having such a difficult time recruiting new officers. Obviously, like so many professions during COVID and post-COVID, a lot of retirements, a lot of early retirements. The city of Pittsburgh went several years without a class of police officers going through the academy. And they're having a very difficult time recruiting people to be police officers in the city of Pittsburgh and other areas as well. Because
that's happening across the country. That's right. Yeah. And we see that trend in small towns and big cities. And so police departments are starting to lean more on technology to kind of fill those gaps, like license plate readers and surveillance cameras to kind of help them do that work. That's also can be controversial. But the police chiefs that I talk to, they say, well, they really need the technology because they don't have the manpower to keep the standard of public safety that they want.
Yeah, shot spotter responses, of course, is something else that's used. Gunshot detection system that use acoustic sensors to identify and locate gunshots. That helps police as well, since they don't have as many as could be on patrol as they once were. Well, we appreciate your joining us. I usually do the afternoon drive show all the time. Not usually, I always do it. So I'm not on during the early afternoon like this. So it's good to be able to have you on. And we appreciate your taking time to join us today. Again, on the WMBS Newsmakers line from CBS News, Anna Schechter, Crime and Public Safety Unit Leader for the network. Anna, thank you very much. We'd like to have you on again sometime. If you're working a little later in the day, we'll have you on.
I'm always working, and thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much. Anna Schechter joining us. We're a few minutes away from that CBS News update, and we're going to talk a little politics with our good friend, Dick Jewell, as I mentioned a moment ago. Dick, long time involved in politics on a number of levels, very successful businessman. Many years ago, I joked with him, took an enormous cut in pay to become president of his alma mater, Grove City College, and he also served on the Gaming Control Board, which when he was first approached about that, he thought it had something to do with the Game Commission. A little different than the Gaming Control Board.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But he served on that board for a number of years, of course. And, of course, now that issue is coming back into the forefront as well about games of chance and how there are legal games of chance. You see a lot of those at the American Legion Post. Now they're talking. A lot of them are not regulated. They might pay off 5%, and the idea that they'll be taxed. And the president pro tem of the state Senate, Kim Ward, the state senator from Westmoreland County, has made it clear when taxes are imposed on these machines, it's not going to go against the American Legion Hall that has them, or the AmVets, or other clubs, the Moose, the Elks, you name it. It's going to go at those selling the machines, and of course they're completely unregulated. A lot of those are right now. There are some that are regulated, but others are not. So we'll talk to Dick about a number of different issues. But it's good to be here on the What's on Your Mind show, continuing my smooth transition of not calling it by the wrong name. I'm really focused on this, TJ. I have not once obsessing as I do.
I hope you don't don't do it, but I.
Yeah.
So
far, I called you by the wrong
good.
name, and I gave the time off by an entire hour. So I promise $5 for any mistake like that. So $10 so far. I'll pick a charity and send it in.
So you got 30 more minutes to go.
I think I can make it. I'm a nervous wreck over this whole thing. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. We had a nice caller come in and say some very, very nice things about the show and about the station, but accused you of not treating Doreen nice. What was that about? You're the nicest guy in the world.
I know. I don't know what that was
What
about.
was that about? My heavens.
And did you get why she called me
She never
Thomas?
told us why. I don't know what that was about.
No, did you get why she called me Thomas Jefferson?
I don't know what TJ stands for.
Well, it's not what
it's not Thomas
for.
Jefferson.
No, but that's why.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe there's somebody. Is there another Thomas Jefferson DeStefano out there? I don't know.
There may be. I don't know.
What does TJ stand for?
You don't know?
I don't know.
You're not even going to guess?
Okay, I'll guess.
Guess.
Let me try to guess here. Thomas. Let's see. TJ. I'll say it's not Thomas. I'm guessing. I'm going to say Timothy James.
No.
Wrong. Both wrong.
Both wrong.
Let's see. Timothy. No.
No, I'll give you a clue. Thomas is right.
Thomas is right.
I'll give you that.
Thomas Jameson.
No. Thomas John.
Thomas John. Okay, that would have been tough. John's usually a first name, not a middle name. So I don't think I'd have gotten that one. So Thomas John. But TJ, we'll go with TJ. That's and you do a great job. I was saying that earlier before we went on the air with you. An hour-long newscast. That's a tough one to do. That's a lot of talking. The news at noon. With TJ.
It is.
We'll have to get one of those voiceovers. Now, the news at noon with TJ.
Yeah, you can record it.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll have Sap do it. He loves doing that stuff. Sapienza.
Yeah.
There's another one. We need more enthusiasm from Sap. You know, he's just too low-key around here.
Just a little bit.
This is the happiest guy. I would have he would have trouble like giving a eulogy at a funeral because he's too nice. Sap's got a lot of energy going. Let me tell you,
he does.
It's amazing, and he starts darn early. What time you get here in the morning? For heavens, 4 o'clock in the morning. He's probably bouncing off the walls then. For heaven's sake,
probably.
Yeah, that's morning shift's tough, man. You got to get to bed early. CBS News, the news brief's coming up here in a moment. When we come back, we're going to talk some politics and other topics as well.
CBS News Brief. In Texas, as the death toll reaches 120, the questions continue over why there was no warning about the floods. Kerr County Sheriff Larry Letha.
This incident will be reviewed. You have my word. When or if necessary, if improvements need to be made, improvements will be made.
A man and 2 children were killed yesterday in Ruidoso, New Mexico, after flooding sent the river there to record levels. Mayor Lynn Crawford.
The swiftwater rescues, our emergency responders conducted approximately 65 swiftwater rescues during yesterday's event.
President Trump has sent more tariff letters, this time to smaller countries, but with the same message. CBS's Nancy Cortez has more from the White House.
These letters are basically meant to kind of push these countries off the fence.
The latest letters addressed to the Philippines, Libya, Iraq, Moldova, and Algeria. On Wall Street, stocks are higher. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
Then I saw her face.
Everyone's favorite ogre is coming to Uniontown. Main Street Theater Company presents Shrek the Musical, live on stage at the State Theater. Based on the Oscar-winning film of A Little Ogre, a wisecracking donkey, a feisty princess, and other fairy tale misfits, Shrek proves that beauty is truly in the eye of the ogre. Shrek the Musical, July 11th and 12th at 7 p.m., July 13th at 2, is fun for the whole family. For tickets, call 724-439-1360 or online at statetheater.info.
Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling are the ones to call when you need a dumpster. Red Rooster offers fast, friendly service and provides medium-sized dumpsters that will fit your needs, whether it's a general remodeling project, emptying a house, or doing a summer or fall cleanout. Just call Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling at 724-569-0337 for rates and availability. Red Rooster Dumpster and Hauling in Smithfield also offers a 5% military discount. Call 724-569-0337 and look for the Red Rooster.
At Economy Furnace Heating and Air, we're more than just an HVAC company. We're part of your neighborhood. Thanks to you, our friends, families, and loyal customers, we were voted Best in Fayette in both 2023 and 2024. Your trust means the world to us, and we'd be honored to have your vote again. You can vote once a day on every device at bestinfayette.com now through Wednesday, July 9th at 5 p.m. We proudly install Amana systems, built to last and designed for energy efficiency. Need AC help during a heat wave? We've got you covered with fast response times, friendly technicians, and top-notch service you can count on. For over 60 years, our family-owned business has put community first because you're not just customers, you're neighbors. Call us at 724-438-4575 to schedule your appointment today. And from our family to yours, thank you.
For economy, price, and quality service, call Economy Furnace.
Hey love, I'm Tiffany from Tiffany Smith Fine Art Studios, serving up confidence boosts in Periopolis in our brand new luxury studio in downtown Pittsburgh. I'm not just here to take your picture, I'm here to help you remember who you are. Whether it's been a wild few years or you're just feeling a little blah, this is your permission slip to feel powerful again. You'll laugh, maybe cry, and leave feeling like that girl. Book your experience at TiffanySmithFineArtStudios.com because you deserve to be seen.
Your health is more than just how you feel today. It's about staying well for the years ahead. At WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Primary Care, we're here to help you manage your health with regular checkups, screenings, and care that's tailored to you. With locations in Uniontown, Carmichaels, Connellsville, and Scottdale, it's easy to find care close to home. Visit wvumedicine.org/Uniontown today to find the primary care provider who is right for you.
Having Hicksonbaugh's Drugstore in Uniontown means reliability, quality, and service. Pharmacists Stephen Harper and Seth Miller fill your prescriptions, offer free prescription delivery, mail-out service, and gladly answer your healthcare questions. Flu shots, the new Moderna COVID boosters, plus Shingrix shots with your doctor's prescription are also available at Hicksonbaugh's. Call 724-437-2828. Hicksonbaugh's Drugstore, 304 Morgantown Street. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday till 3, closed Sunday.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottdale at 724-220-5281.
WMBS.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. On a Wednesday, I'm Doug Saltzman, filling in for Russ, I guess. I'm filling in for Russ today. Russ Rhodes, who's on the road. Thank you, Russ, filling your sheets. Thank you, Brian, for letting me sit down here. We do have a caller on the line, so let's jump right in on that before our guest joins us in a few moments. Who's calling in?
Hi, this is Paul. How you guys doing today?
Good, Paul. Where are you from?
I'm from here in Uniontown. I actually met you a few years ago at our local Audi store, and I got to commend you because you didn't know me, but you came around an hour just to ask me what my name was, and I was very impressed.
Oh, okay.
Quite a gentleman.
You caught. Well, that's very nice.
Anyway,
Thank you very much. I bumped into you at a grocery store, huh? Oh, that sounds about right to me.
Yeah, right here at our local Audi.
All right.
Anyway, you guys were talking about smoking, and I'm pretty old. I'm 69. Well, I'm actually going to be 71. I forgot my age, but
that's close enough. Yeah, you're within range at that point.
Back in 1969, I went to the tobacco fields in Connecticut. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the school districts around here, there was 100 boys from our area here at the Laurel Highlands area. We went to a place in Granby, Connecticut, and we picked tobacco for the summer, and I was there for 8 weeks. But anyways, back then, if you could get the permission of a parent to let you smoke, you could smoke. And I was 14 years old, almost 50, and I conned my mother into it because we were all smokers in our house. And they sold you the cigarettes and everything. It was unbelievable. And if you chewed tobacco, they'd sell you chewing tobacco.
We had
It was quite.
In my high school, just off the gym floor, we had a cigarette machine. And my job in high school, I cleaned the gym after school. And the guy who came in to fill that old cigarette machine said he filled that machine more than any machine he had, because between the students and the bingo players once a week, that went through it pretty quick. Yeah, when you think about how smoking was so prevalent back in the day, still one of those strange laws. It is illegal to buy cigarettes. Now I think it's under 21 years of age, but you can smoke publicly at any age. You know, it's not like the police can give you a ticket for smoking if you're under 21. You can't buy them, but you can smoke them.
Yeah, it's an incredible world. But that was and I haven't smoked for at least 25 or 30 years.
Good
long
for you.
Time.
That's good.
And I quit chewing tobacco after 50 years of chewing.
Yeah.
And nobody could believe it, but I just did. But anyways, I'm enjoying your show.
Well, thank you very much. It's
really
nice of you to say.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah, but and you were a perfect gentleman when I met you and made that extra effort to ask me my name.
Oh, that's
You
nice.
didn't know me
Well,
from
good.
Adam.
Well, we appreciate your listening.
Hey, thank you. I
Alrighty.
appreciate your show today. Thank you.
Take care. Nice comments today I'm getting. The PR I'm sending out there, paying off people to say nice things about me. It's working out, TJ.
It is. It
I
really
think
is.
Exactly. Speaking of nice guys, our next guest is one of the nicest gentlemen, truly a good gentleman and a smart guy and well-respected throughout this whole region. My gosh, he's known nationally. Our next guest on the WMBS Newsmakers line, Dick Jewell. Dick, thanks for joining us today. How are you?
Hey, Doug, great. It's always great to be with you.
Yeah, and always enjoy your counsel over the years, as they say. Even if it's not legal counsel, your advice and your suggestions have been very helpful to my career. My gosh, when I think about when I first met you, I think 1986. Could that be possible?
Right,
When I first
absolutely.
met? When I joined Arlen Specter's staff during his first campaign. Although I was official staff, I wasn't on the campaign staff. But we'd like to check in with you. And before you joined us, I was giving folks your background, a very well-respected businessman in this area, in this region, known throughout the country. And, of course, at one point, for whatever, you lost common sense for a bit. You took about a 75% pay cut, became president of your alma mater, Grove City College. But that was always your dream,
Opportunity
wasn't
of
it?
my lifetime. The opportunity of my lifetime, no question.
Yeah, you and you surprised all of us. None of us knew you were even going for the position. And next thing we know, you said, Doug, I got the job of my life. I'm like, my gosh, I thought you were going to be an ambassador. Where are you going? He said, president of Grove City, your alma mater. A fantastic school, is it not?
It is indeed. Thank you for that comment. And I was there 11 years, and my successor, the Honorable Paul McNulty, who was the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, number 2 at Justice for the latter part of Mr. W. Bush's years, succeeded me, another Grove City grad, and he just retired after 11 years, and we have a brand new president, law school dean, graduate of Grove City and Harvard Law School, outstanding lawyer in his own right. So we've had 3 lawyers in a row. Brad Longo is his name, and Dr. Longo, just 3 days into his new presidency, he's the 11th president of, the 10th president, I should say, of Grove City in our history.
It's such an extraordinary school. The fact that almost every school year you have students from almost all 50 states, correct?
We do. That is correct. In a couple of years, we had them from all. Now, you might have one from Wyoming and a lot more from Pennsylvania and Ohio, of course. But no, it's got a national draw, and we started doing that even before my presidency, which was turned out to be a great idea.
Yeah, it's amazing what Grove City has been able to do up there when so many colleges are struggling these days, especially not just with student body, but with support. Grove City is one of those legends that is so well known, and to have people come back, alums, to become president of the university, that doesn't happen a lot at other schools.
Nope. In our case, those that have been educated there have a high regard for it, and some even so high that they want to come back and have a chance in its ultimate governance opportunity. And that's what I had.
Yeah, it's we were talking earlier before you joined us about your career. At one point, you thought you were going to somehow be part of an organization, a commission that oversaw hunting and fishing in Pennsylvania. When they asked you about the Gaming Control Board, you thought it was the Game Commission. And, of course, It was the Gaming Control Board, which is, in terms of government agencies, a relatively new one at this point. But is
2004.
Right. Is it, my gosh, I'm talking 21 years, good heavens. And, of course, that oversees the gaming industry in Pennsylvania, which seems to be is operating as smoothly as any government-controlled agency or organization there could be. It's really...
Well, let me make some comments about that, because I've had 2 terms as commissioner. I'm not commissioner any longer. First of all, Pennsylvania had the great experience in regulation of the states of Nevada and New Jersey. And I can't tell you how important that is and was to the Pennsylvania experience. Secondly, when they organized in Pennsylvania and brought over the current and long-serving head of the Gaming Commission, the agency, and the chief enforcement officer, They both came from New Jersey, and both have done an exceptional job of regulation. And then thirdly, when I left in 19, we were booking about $3.2 billion in handle, or gaming monies that were bet, and it's now over $5 billion.
With a B, folks.
With a B, and it's the Pennsylvania is the second largest state. 30 states, there may be a few more now since I haven't been there for a while, but 30 states had casino gambling, and Pennsylvania is number 2 to Nevada. That's how tremendous the that business has taken off in the Commonwealth. And of course, it was the brainchild of Governor Rendell and his Secretary of Revenue, who became chairman of that board and on it for a number of years on the Gaming Commission, Greg Feit,
right,
former state rep, really a incredibly bright guy, a lawyer and a CPA, and a great gentleman, wonderful temperament, just a great public servant. He was the guy that put the thing together under the watch of the governor, and got it up and running, got the legislation done and everything up and running. And today it's well regulated. When I finished, I could say this, I spent a lot of time studying it and asking questions, learning about it. One, the games are absolutely fair, absolutely fair. Secondly, those that invest in the businesses that own the casinos are clean of any influence from the mob or other things like that.
This is not Vegas in the 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Right, that is correct. Yep. The forensic accounting work is done by former FBI and state police folks, and we literally would go to countries in Europe to look at somebody's bank account records before they could be approved to be an owner or part owner in a casino license. So it's probably a little bit over-regulated, frankly. I've had enough experience to say that, but it's always better to be on that side. and really well done. The other thing that amazed me was, not a surprise to people who've been in casinos, the number of cameras.
Oh.
We could tell if a $20 bill down on the table was counterfeit.
Amazing.
Now, oftentimes we did that after the fact. In other words, we'd find counterfeit money, then we'd go back through the recorded record and be able to look right down and see who put it down, etc. So the accountability of anything that's untoward done within a casino is almost instant, and a very incredibly regulated.
I mean, my mom, with one of her lady friends, used to go to the casinos, and she only did the slots. Mom was the classic.
Right.
Sat there at the slots, and there was a guy next to her, and she said, "You don't have to be paying attention. You can tell if someone's winning." He'd been there for a while, so he left, and my mom slid over to his seat and hit for about $2,000 on one of the.
Oh my goodness!
And this guy came back, started yelling at her, and Mom told me, she said, I barely had time to get worried, and all of a sudden these men showed up, and they picked him up like a roll of carpet and started running through the casino. And I said, yeah, they don't want anybody to leave and say, I got scared at the casino. And of course, then they offered Mom everything they could to keep her happy, and every drink she wanted. My mom had champagne on Thanksgiving. That was that was about all. But got extra nights and all this free travel. She said it was really the best thing that happened. And she said she just felt so safe. She said she barely had time to be concerned. And I said, Mom, there's a camera about 12 feet. No one's doing that.
And there's 3 levels of security. Pennsylvania State Police, in most of the casinos, they have a substation, and they're there. They have a group there most of the time. Secondly, the house security from the owners of the license and of the premises. And third, the permanent party, so to speak, from the Gaming Commission that are there. for both safety and regulation. So it's incredibly, watched over.
Oh, absolutely. I'll give you an example. We were going to talk politics today, but let's stick to this topic because it's such an important part of the economy in Pennsylvania. My niece, Bethany, got married at Rivers Casino, had the reception there. And to get to the hall there, you have to go through the gaming floor. So she showed up in her wedding gown, and what would I'll ask our producer here, TJ, what do you think a bride does not carry with her on her wedding day?
What?
Her driver's license. So she gets to the front door. She can't prove she's over 21. So we have to take her around the side door, umbrellas holding over. It was raining. Brought her in a back door, and up the elevator she went. Even a bride wasn't allowed to walk on that floor because she didn't have her. And my children, who at the time were all under 21, they went around the back. They got in. They looked up at a camera so they could see their faces. They went up that elevator so the guard up there could see it was the same people who he just saw on that camera down below. That's how strict they are about it. At one point, we were getting pictures taken on this staircase that goes down to the gaming floor, and a security guard was standing just off camera, making sure none of our kids accidentally ran down those steps onto the gaming floor.
Well, I sat in hearings where there was occasional violations at a casino. Somebody under 21 got on the gaming floor or had a drink under 21. And we're talking about heavy fines.
Oh, yeah.
And we bring to Harrisburg the CEO of that casino operation and 2 or 3 other people, and they have to be part of a hearing and a record, and then a fine is assessed. And so it's pretty careful. As far as liquor control,
let me jump in for a second, Dick. The fine is against the casino. It's not the kid's family who's getting fined. The casino's going to get fined, and that's just if you walk on the floor. You don't have to gamble.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So they watch that incredibly, as they should, carefully. And I kind of chuckled as an old college president, not that we had a lot of alcohol problems or violations in Grove City. Frankly, we didn't. But having said that, young people do like to get out and have an illegal snort once in a while. And if you had the control in every bar in the Commonwealth that we have in the casinos on alcohol, there'd be no problem. I mean, zero, 2 a year in the whole Commonwealth, maybe.
All 4 of my daughters now are in their 20s, over 21, and I try to pretend they didn't drink in college. I kind of fool myself to think that, But no, you're right. The restrictions on casinos, and of course it's the old stereotypes. You watch the Godfather movies, and you think every casino is run by the mob. That's old school stuff. It happened at one time in Vegas, certainly, but
no doubt about it.
Not in Pennsylvania. They do background checks. I've been on Air Force One, and I'm sure the background checks to own a casino are tougher than the ones to get on Air Force One or in the Oval Office.
Absolutely. Now well, go ahead.
No, get ready. We're talking with Dick Jewell, of course, former member of the gaming. I'm going to get this wrong here. The Gaming Control Board. There we go. Almost said the Game Commission. Although you'd be good on that too, Dick. I tell you, it's and you brought a very interesting perspective to the Gaming Control Board. You've never been a gambler, you said.
Well, when I get the call from Mike Turzai, who was the speaker, and it was a House caucus appointment, so Turzai, I was appointed through his authority. I didn't seek the position at all. I wasn't even thinking about it. I get a call, and Mike said, "Hey, Dick, I got a position I think you'd be great for, and we need help." I said, "Really?" And then he told the story. I thought it was I'd be counting deer kill in Mount Lebanon. I thought he was describing, the game commission. Then he went a little further, then I realized what it was. And I said to him, "Now, Mike," I said, "I've never been in a casino." And I said, "In fact, I never thought as a matter of public policy using gambling money for public purposes was necessarily a good idea." To which he said, "You'd be the perfect regulator."
That's right. Yeah.
And we'll let others judge that, but I worked hard at it and enjoyed learning something completely new and really got to know some great colleagues. And interestingly enough, we had 7 commissioners on the commission board. And toward the end, because we'd elected, because Corbett had gone out of office, we had 5 Democrats and 2 Republicans. But I could not tell a D or an R vote. In other words, the folks looked at the law and the facts and the obligations, and we were almost completely in concert together. And it wasn't. I never detected in my 4 years a political fight behind the scenes at all.
No, that's great. That's great. We're talking with Dick Jewell. We've talked to you a lot over the years. These interviews always go so quick. We have a hard break coming up in the news. And we were going to talk politics, but that's okay. We got off on another topic. It's very important to Pennsylvania. I didn't have a chance to jump in earlier. You mentioned about Greg Feit. I first met Greg when he was elected to the state house. Good heavens, now almost 35 years ago. Isn't that amazing how fast time goes?
It is amazing.
And he replaced another good guy, Terry McVeary, who went on. Terry's sadly no longer with us, but he went on to be a federal judge.
A great federal judge, a wonderful judge.
A good guy, both of them. And, Greg Feit, a wealth of experience. You serve as chief of staff to any governor. That's a tough job. To Ed Rendell, who's a fascinating guy. You never know what's going to happen next.
Well, he did not write a book, but if he had,
he could have. I need to write a book. You and I should write a book about Arlen Specter. I've always said that for years. My old boss and your good friend. Used to play squash with him, of course, back in the day.
Absolutely.
Regularly. One time, you were scheduled to play squash with him. Something happened, and you couldn't make it. And so I filled in. He said, next time, Doug, find someone else if Dick can't be here. You're not good enough.
We had a lot of fun. We played Duquesne Club, Brewers Club. We played in Philly and played in D.C.
Well, you played up at Grove City. You once relined a racquetball court to be a squash court for him.
Exactly. We had to restage the whole court.
That's right.
Court. And he had just come back from his sojourn, with Hafiz al-Assad in Syria. And then we had just had U.S. pilots taken prisoner. They had to land because they had a problem with their plane on a Chinese island.
Oh, jeez.
And he spoke that night at the college. As usual, he was fascinating.
I was there with him back in those days.
He knew the world.
That's right. He did.
He knew the world.
Okay, Dick. Well, next time we'll say we're going to talk about the gaming world and we'll talk politics. We'll do it that way next time. All right.
Absolutely.
Dick Jewell.
To it always.
Gentlemen.
All right.
Scholar, thanks so much for joining us. All righty. Take care. Dick Jewell. Hey, we're going to take a break here, folks. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the hour. News at 3 o'clock is coming up.
Your mental health is your most valuable asset. With 55 years of experience serving Western Pennsylvania, Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services is ready and able to assist you with all of your mental health needs. Offering over 20 specialized treatments, open access, and just-in-time scheduling means that you receive the treatment you need in a time-conscious fashion. Chestnut Ridge Counseling now offers telehealth, mental health urgent care with immediate access to a mental health professional with no appointment necessary. Call 724-437-0729. That's 724-437-0729 for mental health urgent care at Chestnut Ridge Counseling. Outpatient care options include individual, group, and family therapies, mental health and psychiatric evaluations, and medication services. Outpatient care and services are also available for patients under the age of 18, geared towards youth-centric problems and concerns. Take control of your mental health care with Chestnut Ridge Counseling Services. Call 724-437-0729 to set up an appointment or speak immediately with a mental health professional.
Warm weather is finally here, and with it, the opportunity to upgrade your lawn or yard with a new fence from All Around Fence Company. Conveniently located at 7896 National Pike, Uniontown, All Around Fence has been installing quality residential, commercial, and farm fencing for more than 45 years. Offering residential fencing including chain link, decorative aluminum, steel, and more, All Around Fence has a fence for you. All Around Fence is also your one-stop shop for Nutrina products and carries livestock, equine, and pet supplies too. So whether you need to upgrade an existing fence, add a new gate, or are looking to install an all-new fence, All Around Fence has the answers for you. Visit them Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or give them a call at 724-439-0331. To learn more, visit allaroundfence.com.
Bright Stripe, Bay County's premier asphalt seal coating professionals, locally owned by Matt and Lexi George. Bright Stripe specializes in residential and commercial asphalt seal coating, also excelling in line striping and layouts, thermoplastic, and infrared asphalt repair. Bright Stripe has succeeded due to their commitment to quality work for 30 years. Bright Stripe, 724-437-6090, or visit bright-stripe.com. BRITE.com. BRITE-stripe.com.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a pig? It's also a chance to win big with WMBS and the Pennsylvania Lottery. Starting Thursday.